Our world in 2026 is kind of falling apart, especially socially. In our humaning sense, we're not terribly skilled in this arena anymore. Once upon a time, you were forced to get good in this humaning endeavor, and that would be true of most of our parents. You were forced to engage with people face to face, and if you didn't do so in good faith, you would basically be excised from whatever groups you were in. You'd be excommunicated from social circles, and you would be disallowed from participating in really society, in the public square, and your opinion would be forever silenced or sidelined, okay? Nowadays, however, you have to opt in to humaning. You have to opt in to the conversation. It doesn't happen as a matter of course. It doesn't happen in school or anywhere else. Everything is optional to you. Once upon a time, you had to be a certain sort of person to isolate, to be a hermit off in the mountains somewhere by your lonesome with no human contact. Now, that's the opposite. Nowadays, hermit is the default. Everybody else is the special sort of human who has opted into humaning, who has opted into community. That's now the exception. As a consequence of this, many of our humaning muscles have atrophied to the point of unusability. And it shows. We are no longer able to have a meaningful discussion about meaningful topics. And I hear the lament from people all of the time. Why can't we just have a civil discussion anymore? Why do politics need to be so incendiary? Why is it so polarizing? Why is it left versus right and you versus me? Why is everything turned into a fist fight? This is why. The state of our world is not a particularly good one right now, and that is precisely because we have lost our humaning muscles. They have atrophied too much in order to engage civilly. There is a fix for this. There is a solution for this. You must opt in to humaning once more. Round here, round the Mafia community, we call this doing life on hard mode. Easy mode being the default, where you are a hermit. You can get away with saying anything in any way that you like behind the safety and anonymity of your mouse and keyboard. From your dark den somewhere, you can say whatever you want to whomever you want, wherever in the world, and face no repercussions for it. And thus, the conversation deteriorates. We need to rectify this if we are to save the world. Our fix in this community is to practice humaning again. Practice. Because what was once a matter of course, what was once automatic for our parents and their parents and their parents, as a matter of just existence, simple existence, now is optional. Choose, then, the option of training. Enter the Cosa Nostra rendezvous. These are our solution to the problem. These are our weekly 90-minute get-togethers that the Mafia community does in smaller group settings, where we practice humaning, where we learn, we get the skills and the proper perspectives to engage in good faith with one another, to negotiate with one another skillfully again, such that the discourse might actually stand a chance. 90 minutes once a week. That's the ask. That's the commitment. Do this for a 6-month term, and these start up here shortly. That is the first week of September. The fall term of the rendezvous kicks off. Space is limited, and each group has a finite size, and so these are first come, first serve. If you want to be a part of this, if you would like to join the Humaning Dojo and get those reps in each week, such that you might become skilled in this, in a way that so very few today are, I hope that you will consider taking a look at this. This is the sign-up sheet. I just pushed it out to all the platforms. This is a simple Google Doc. You go through it, and it's a wish list system because space is limited. You indicate in there which times on a Wednesday you can make work. I will be facilitating these crews personally, as I do right now with existing crews that started back in March. These ones again start at the first week of September and run through March 2027. Okay? You fill out the wish list to indicate what time you can commit to. There is no bounce between groups and shop around for groups. Okay? There is a pick a time that works with your work schedule, your sleep schedule, your time zone. Choose which is your first preference. First come, first serve means that those of you who get to the signups now, you're guaranteed your time slots until they fill up. Once enough people are there to fill up a crew, however, people will start getting their second choices, or third choices as the case may be. Some times are more popular than others, and they are spread loaded over the entire day so as to accommodate as many people as possible. What this translates to, for me, is an entire day every single Wednesday with each of the crews. Back to back to back. From the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep, I facilitate these crews. And my ask is that you would consider joining. Join me in this. Do something difficult. Do something that requires courage of you. That is the barrier to entry for most. That is the big to-do, to join and become a part of this thing. Now, just so as we're clear, first 3 months are for anybody who is just like, I'm going to see what this is about. I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what I'm stepping in right here. I don't even know if I can manage it with my schedule. I'm not exactly sure. I'd be grateful if you'd give them a shot. Find a time that you can commit to. It's not a perfect sort of attendance thing. I get all that. Like, life happens, okay? Stuff is going to come up. Things will come out of the blue, and you'll be pulled away in a given week. I understand all of that. It happens with our current crews. That happens with every group that we are a part of in life. It's just the way the world works. But there is an expectation that members attend 80% of the time or better, so try to be there. Try to be there. Negotiate in good faith. Communicate in good faith. Because, again, the time slots are limited. For the purposes of trying to make this accessible to as many people as possible, it is $50 for a year for 2 terms. $50 for 2 terms. 2 6-month terms. First term, which kicks off here in September, and the second term, which would kick off in March and run through next September. There's a $50 price tag for that, and that's listed in the coffee store on my page. You can find that there as the 12-month Cosa Nostra option. Now, if you read that description, and I do encourage you to, it will explain the alternative. The short version is, if for whatever reason you are unable to financially swing $50 for a year of weekly get-togethers, if you are unable to afford that, and I understand being in a financial season where that is impossible. I get that. It's price point. It's at a price point that is purposed with being accessible to as many people as possible. But if you're not there, if that's too big of an ask, okay, at the 3-month mark going into these, the ask is for a testimonial. The ask is that you instead write out a testimonial, not an AI testimonial, handwrite a testimonial explaining what it has meant to you to do those 3 months, what it is you've gotten out of it, and that you'd therefore like to continue, why you'd like to continue. Has it been beneficial to you in some way, such that you would like to, such that you want to actually stay in community, in these small groups? That's it. And then there's no cost due to you at all. That's all. It's either $50 for the year or a handwritten testimonial saying, no, it turns out this is a pretty good thing. Now, I covet those testimonials because they're the reinforcement that what we're doing here matters. It's also a means by which I can communicate to others, like, no, don't just take my word for it. Other folks, too, without their names being attached to it, have indicated that this matters. It's not me blowing smoke, and it's not me just fibbing about the benefits of this thing. And my encouragement to you is ask. Ask the people who are currently a part of CNRs, who have been doing this for 6 months or longer. Ask them what they get out of it. Now, I don't have specific plants of people who are going to salesman this thing to you and shine it all up for you. Ask anybody, blindly. I'm not going to put specific people to you. You can just pick and choose any one of them and ask, so you can get a candid response, okay? And you can see what they've gotten out of it. Ask what their involvement level has been, and ask what they've gotten out of it. And my ask, again, going here into the fall, is that for all of the new joins who are interested in doing this, be brave. That's the real cost of entry here. That's the real ask. Yes, there's possibly the $sign on it. Yes, there's possibly the testimonial instead. But the real cost, and there is one, is courage. It's not nothing. I understand that we've got a lot of introverts in this community. I understand that we've got a lot of people who indeed are not very well practiced in human engagement anymore. That must change. And if we're to fix the world, if we're to save the world, it will require your help. It will require your participation. This is not something that you can outsource to others. The folks who have just gone through their first term of this in a proper sense could explain to you precisely why this is an individual sort of problem. And yet, you will, at this point, having not gone through it, not be able to grasp the language they might employ in doing so. The purpose of the first term of these rendezvous is exactly that. Help you to understand the predicament we're in, and why all of the excuses that we have, and all of the seemingly legitimate reasons why me, well, I can't be a part of this thing, I can't be the problem, me, no, I've got it together. It's the rest of the world that's got it wrong. The first 6 months are purposed with equipping us to grapple with an idea like that one and wrestle with the implications that come from actually examining that claim, that stance, that view of the world. And I hope you will do it. It is not hyperbole, not at all, to say that this does depend on you. It does depend solely on an individual's courage. Many will be unable to do this. Many will be unable to stomach the difficulty of hard mode. And yet, some will. It is my hope that those who are right now unable to do this, it is my hope that in time, they mature, they grow, and they become stronger, such that they can face the difficulties that this project, that this endeavor is fraught with. For now, however, some will be unable to do the difficult thing of doing life alongside people different than them. That's what each of us does. Each of us does each week spend time in the company of others who have agreed to try doing hard things. None of us will nail it. None of us will get it right. Because as different as we all are, as disparate and varied as our experiences and backgrounds have been and are, we have one thing in common. That's that we're all screw-ups. We're all disappointments. We all let ourselves down. We let each other down. We're human. They're one and the same. It's an intractable condition. It's an incurable thing that we each have. We are disappointments. We set goals for ourselves that we miss. Others set goals for us that we miss. We are in the business of missing the mark. True of us all. And that is a source of humility for those of us who can actually recognize this, who can actually see the truth in this. And that humbling, that truth ought give us pause when we're feeling inclined to dismiss one another, when over the course of a given day, week, year, we are feeling inclined to toss someone's ideas aside like so much chaff. Instead, in the company of others who've agreed to try this, miss the mark often, but keep coming back and trying, we get those requisite reps in. We get them over and over again, in a way that those who quit simply cannot. They never get enough exposure to these ideas in order to grow the humaning muscles. The people who walk away from it don't get the opportunities elsewhere, not in 2026. Now, long term, what we've talked about before, and what I'll briefly mention here again tonight, is the long-term goal for these, the dream, the ambitious dream for this, which is scaling the Mafia project, scaling the rendezvous. The CNRs are, again, smaller groups of people, okay? 7, 8 people or so. And we've got 7, 8 crews that run on a Wednesday, okay? 7 or 8 crews that run per week. Now, it is my goal that we expand that we expand it massively. Because if it is true, and I'm convinced that it is, that this is how we save the world, that this is the precise mechanism by which we might do so. It's not more sophisticated technologies, it's not bigger and badder weapons, it's not even electing certain leaders. None of that will do it. This is the only way that we stop the rot. This is how. I'm convinced of that. If that is so, then the future of this world depends on us each, as individuals, negotiating in good faith and spreading this idea. Bringing others into it, roping others in to try this thing. To accept that this falls on each of us, and then to get good, to become skilled enough to do so well. So my ask is that you bring a friend. You needn't face this solo. If you are super worried about doing this thing in a vacuum, though much will be required of you, regardless of whether or not you have a compatriot that you already know, it can ease that transition. Now, my ask also is that people take a leap of faith here. Take a step into some uncertain waters. Jump in, get your toes wet with something like the Festa. There's a Festa going on right now in the Mafia community Discord. Low stakes, no barrier to entry, no obligation to stick around, no signups, no expectations whatsoever. You just join the voice calls. Put some faces to names. Come say, hey, how are you? Be brave. Turn on your camera. Turn on your camera so that you can actually look into the eyes of this person with whom you are speaking. Something, again, some of us are not great at. So jump into something like the Festa. Get reps in there. Be brave there. And then sign up Sign up for the CNRs. Rope in a friend, rope in a family member. Maybe you two want to do it together. Maybe you two want to do it separately in different calls. If you're married and you've got kids, well, someone's got to watch the kids. We've got a lot of folks who do that. We've got folks where this one will watch the kid for this shift so the other can attend their crew, and then they hand off the kiddos, and then the other joins. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope you will make a way. I understand that this is 90 minutes that you don't get back. I understand that this is 90 minutes that puts a wrench in the rest of your week. I understand all that. There is a cost. That cost is the most valuable thing. It's your time. That's why it matters. That's why it matters that we do this well. And boy, howdy, do we strive to. So I hope that you will. I hope that you will bring a friend. I hope you will help us in scaling this thing. Bring more people. None of this, incidentally, moves the needle on the success or survivability of this business, in case you're thinking that this is some sort of cash grab, cash cow something or other. Just so as you knows, for the curious, a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of insider baseball here, the overwhelming majority of people choose to write testimonials, the testimonials that I mentioned. So this is not a revenue source, really, for this business. It does not in any way cover the costs of what all I do here, 80 to 90 hours a week. Not even close. This project has cost me money. I have lost money every single month that I have run this company. Every single month. For 5 years. This is not about making money. This is about saving the world. So, I understand you being cynical. I understand those out there who've been black-pilled. But this is the fix. Like it or not, this is it. Some people wish they could just cut a check and make all the problems go away. That's not how this works. It requires something of you. It costs. It costs something of each of us. And I hope you will join. I hope you will join in that. I hope you will be brave. I hope you will join us in heart mode. I hope you will get those humaning reps in each week. And then, tell a friend so that they might. Quick note on the logistics here. The terms stack one into the other, okay? So for those who've done term 1 right now, they are moving on to term 2, okay? And then on to second year. And so there is no catching up with somebody down the line, as it were, okay? And so if you're like, well, maybe I'll join now, and I'll have a friend join next term, they can't catch up to you in a strict sense, okay? If you want your friend or a family member to join and to be in a crew with you, they must do so now. They must do so this term, okay? Because if you continue and you're on in term 2, them signing up, they will be a term behind. Starting with the basics, starting with the foundation, while you move on to more advanced material, more advanced training for humaning. So, again, I encourage you, pick someone's brain. You can ask. You can do it now, behind my back, okay? Who here has done this CNR business? Who here has been a part of this? Who can tell me? Tell me, what is this? Is this legit? Is this real? Is this a scam? Is this a, what? Is this a waste of my time? Go ahead, ask whatever questions you want. I won't be offended. You can put it however uncharitably you'd like. I won't be offended. Get real answers from real people. Do so. They won't be offended either, incidentally. Anybody who's gone through it, that is. Anybody who's gone through this program also won't take offense. I know the merits of this project. I've seen it firsthand. And I'm not afraid of the scrutiny. I'm not afraid of the questions. I'm not afraid of your asking whatever about them. And so if you do have questions here tonight, I hope you'll ask them. Whatever you've got, whatever you think I may have missed, whatever I can clear up for you, I'd love to answer those questions now. Any questions, however silly they might sound, but I'm sure that I failed to mention something. I am sure that I was not clear on something. So ask. If you've got a question, I'm sure it's not the first. So ask whatever questions you have, and we will get you some answers, okay? Okay, sign-up sheet is right there. There it is. There's the sign-up wish list. If this is your first time going through CNRs, if this is term 1 for you in doing this, that is the wish list sheet, okay? So if you're brand new to all of this, you've not been in the CNRs before, put in there your preferences. This is my first choice of time slot that I can commit to, that I could make work. This is the most convenient time for me, and I could show up each week. And this is the second time, and then this is the third time, and this is the fourth time. That helps us create a heat map to also better accommodate desirability of specific time slots in large groups. Okay, the more data we get on this, the better, and the better we can accommodate to the expansion, the scaling of this project. So please use the form. And again, ask your questions. Fire away. That's all the stuff. That's all the thing. All right.